Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Kate, the Great Western Engine, and I'm back here again with another video, and today is actually gonna be a bit of a different video. This is something my wife has actually been pushing me to do despite me being hesitant about it, which I'll explain by the end of the video. She also helped me make the script make more sense without my grammar, which I won't show the rest because it will be the biggest spoiler for this video. So today we'll be reviewing Transformers 1 and the Wild Robot and looking at them in a positive light. I know this is not something I normally do. I normally rant on the worst movies and TV shows I've seen, but like I said, my wife pushed me to do it. But we saw Transformers 1 last week and the Wild Robot on Sunday, and they were easily two of the best movies of the entire year we've ever seen in our entire lives. So without further ado, let's just get on with the video. So first we'll start off with Transformers 1. Transformers 1 we saw last week like I said, and it was amazing, period. That's it. That's all I can literally goddamn say. First we'll start off with the fact that it's a massive improvement over the entire Transformers franchise. Expect Bumblebee in the first Transformers movie, and is easily my favorite Transformers movie out of them all. The Michael Bay movies are trash. Revenge of the Fallen was mediocre thanks to the writers' strike. Age of Extinction put me to sleep, and The Last Night made me wanna die. I couldn't even finish the movie, and Dark of the Moon was solid, not the best like everyone else says it is, but a very solid movie. Next up is the story and writing. The story and writing is mostly well written. It's basically a great origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, and the dynamic between the two was really nice, which made the third act a lot more tragic, which we'll talk about later on in the video, but I love the way they were portrayed. Megatron is easily my favorite out of them all. I thought Brian Tyree Henry did an amazing job as him. The same goes with Optimus Prime. Chris Hemsworth did a pretty good job as him. I also liked Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee. He was the movie stealer the entire time. He kind of reminded me of George Carlin and other comedians, except Bumblebee never swears like Carlin does. I know people don't really like this take on him, but I don't really care. Next up is animation, visuals and action scenes. I was 100% surprised by how visually outstanding and stunning the animation was the whole time, because when the teaser trailer came out, which I'll get into later, I thought it looked pretty bad. I wasn't really a fan of the character designs, especially the weird-ass shoulder pads. It's like this thing looked absolutely hideous. But when we saw the movie, somehow they blend in with the great visuals and creative action scenes. I thought they were visually stunning and were easily the best takes on them. Now this might sound like a hot take, but the action scenes are 100 times better than the Michael Bay movies. If you don't know me, I'm usually someone that gets bored and exhausted of action scenes when they get very repetitive like the Michael Bay movies. My wife doesn't really mind it, so, yeah. Next up is the amount of screen time the Transformers got. The fact that everybody in Hollywood realized that the only good part of the franchise is those stupid vehicle robots on screen is easily my favorite part of the whole movie, because the humans in my opinion were easily the weakest part of the movies, aside from probably Sam and Charlie, but Cade, Tessa, Elena and maybe Noah made me fall asleep every time, especially Cade and Tessa. Noah I thought was okay, my wife liked him more. But yeah, the Transformers vehicle robots are the peak of this franchise. And last but not is the fact that the last 30 minutes of the film are seriously some of the best Transformers content we've ever seen in my life. This may be because of the action scenes are epic, but the final battle between Optimus and Megatron was more epic and completely tragic. Megatron killing off Optimus and saying "I won't save you" kind of reminded me of Tech's sacrifice scene by the end of The Bad Batch Season 2. This though fall in the orchestral somber sounding theme. Yeah, expect Optimus never stayed dead like Tech did somehow, aside from a lot of Bad Batch fans desperately praying for and predicting him to be alive. Speaking of the music they cooked with the soundtrack and themes, there was a moment where the motif of the Transformers Prime theme was playing, and everything else was amazing in general. That's it. Next up is that the humor was very good as well. I was worried they were gonna overuse it, but somehow they used it at the right time. Like I said, Bumblebee was funny and reminded me of every comedian, and so was Elite One at times, which we'll get into later. And that's the end of the positives. Now let's get on with my nitpicks/cons. Now the movie is not all perfect because I have a few nitpicks and gripes with it, so it's time we go from smallest to biggest. First is that I didn't like this take on Elite One. I just thought they made her rude and annoying. Like, that's not the Elite One I know and prefer, like the G1 and War for Cybertron trilogy cartoons, although she did have her funny moments, like we did like her pep talk with Optimus. It was a pretty funny character moment for her. I might be nitpicking because some people, including my wife, liked it, and I do respect their opinion as long as they and you all respect mine. Now let's get into the real nitpicks, and these are facts. First, aka second one, which may not sound like a fact, it's just my opinion, is that the first act was weak. It kind of felt like the kids' movie, like the teaser trailer, which I'll get into later. Some jokes were a little cheesy, but it does get better by the second half. The third one is that we know it's his opinion, but IGN gave the movie a mixed review and gave it a 5 out of 10, mainly because there's quote-unquote too many robots. And I ended up getting mad, throwing one of my phones at the wall, and then I just threw it away, even though my wife couldn't let me because it's a screen that costs $300, and then I told her that I had 3 phones and she was like, "Okay babe, I don't care." Yeah, I actually had 3 phones. The second is that I thought I lost the first one for some reason, so I had to get a new one. So then I found the first one under the couch we had when I lived in an apartment with my garbage-ass family before me and my wife bought our first house. The first phone was broken, glitching and shutting off all the time, and the second one still worked very well, but it ran out of memory, so I had to get a new modern one at the very beginning of the year, and it works even more well. So on my second phone, comedian Cam's rant on IGN's mixed review on Transformers 1 popped up on my feed, and I ended up getting mad, throwing the second phone at the wall, and then I just threw it away. And that was a few weeks ago, like, it's gone now. I know it's opinion, but it's our love for Transformers 1 that matters to me, my wife and everyone else. And the fourth and final one is that the marketing is abysmal. The trailer looked absolutely terrible and like a kid's movie, and it ended up not being the case for the actual movie. I'm sorry, but everyone that made the trailer seriously need to be fired. It took me out of the movie and missed the entire tone and feel of the movie. It was an absolute abomination of a trailer and really set us up for failure. And the fact that they released it a few weeks after every kid went back to school and every adult went back to college made it worse. Why couldn't they release it by the end of summer, where we're all still out of school and college at the time? It would made this so much better. Then again, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons Into the Thieves and the first Megamind movie. The trailers looked really stupid, but then they ended up being outstanding while flopping at the box office. Except Megamind was completely ignored by DreamWorks until this year with the sequel and series, which I will do a rant on next video, so watch out for that. So that's it for Transformers 1, now we'll get on to the Wild Robot. So we saw the Wild Robot on Sunday, and it was masterful. We loved everything about it, that's it. So first we'll start off with the tone and story, cause the tone of this movie always made us cry. It's very emotional and beautiful at the same time, cause this movie is wholesome and endearing the whole time, and it's all thanks to the found family relationships between the robot and the goose. Both Roz and Bright Bill don't really fit in with the island and all the other animals, and they're kind of forced into being each other's families, and we were just tearing up the whole time, but my wife was tearing up even more than me the whole time. It's not even the emotional moments that are the sad parts of the movie, there's also some really happy growth moments that really got to us. Next we'll get into the animation and visuals, because we were just stunned by the amazing visuals the entire time. The sunset scenes will always stay with us for the rest of my life. I swear every single scenes you pause it on would make it look like a dedicated portrait or piece of art. It's kind of similar to the shot of Duncan in the sunset on the bridge in season 19, or I mean season 18, But I mean come on, just the brush aesthetic of every single scene seriously makes every movie look dull and colorless in comparison. I really like the colors of every robot. I really love the sunset scenes. Me and my wife thought they looked very pretty. Just every scene in general we loved. If you don't like, then you probably don't understand art and good visuals and what they mean to you. Next up is the music, and the movie was beautiful. I loved every second of it. Next up is the amount of humor in this movie was really entertaining. Me and my wife were laughing a lot the whole time. I feel like I should give credit to Catherine O'Hara for doing all that. Next up is the acting. Pongo Lupita did a great job as Roz, cause obviously she is supposed to be monotonous and robotic, my dumb Eric voice, which I'll continue to use for the rest of my videos because I hate my voice, but she did an incredible job doing that on the character we can all connect to, and to actually have a celebrity do an incredible job with the voice unlike certain others. And that's about it, so I give them both a 9.5 out of 10. I know I rated Transformers 1 a different rating on Letterboxd. It actually got better for the second time watching it on Wednesday. You've made it all the way through the end of my very first positive video on Transformers 1 and the Wild Robot, and before the end of the video I just want to go over where I have been for the past 1 or 2 months, so let's get to it. First we'll start off with the fact that I've been sick. So basically my wife got sick with breathing troubles the first day, and then on the second day she got me sick with the same exact breathing troubles as hers, and then after those things we got better. Next up is the fact that we sold my old broken computer in order to put a down payment in our first house a few days ago, and then on Saturday my grandma had an extra computer and was giving it away, and I clapped and cheered the whole time because we don't really have much money to really do anything, because we have to spend our money on food and shit like that. She was also originally going to return her extra computer, but then she decided not to by the end. I know the community tab post said that I bought this computer, of which that is clickbait and a mistake I made when I was posting Sunday morning. And finally is simply just the lack of motivation. And there you have it. Also, by the way, I know I've been getting blown up by these garbage comments from Kingsley Amuzu sometimes, and most especially, 50th Century I Duck last year, but to both of you that is watching this video, please stop fucking blowing me up to come back, cause blowing me up will not make videos come any faster, neither does it do anything to help my lack of motivation and shit like that. Also, does anybody like put comments on sleep? If you guys do, then let me know in the comments below, because I've always seemingly gotten those comments all day and night last year. Other than that, I probably should put the no blowing me up to come back as my one and only rule on my channel. I know I no longer do rules on my channel because it makes me a hypocrite. Don't worry, I blow up absolutely nobody to come back. I'm 26 years old. Well, I just turned 26 last Friday, and my wife is 24. We're very mature and responsible for that. I probably should make an OC of my wife. I was originally gonna do it for her birthday on August, but I completely forgot about it, so I'm doing it tomorrow. So in the comments below you guys can suggest the design and maybe guess her favorite color for her, because I know what it is. I don't want to go with the GWR color like I did when I got repainted at the Steamworks, because I just simply don't want to. I'm only using the first comment once it's in there below, so yeah. Anyways, I'm back to making videos again much faster, so now you won't see any more of these videos always lagging every time I screenshot them. Also, it will still lag, act up and shut off completely, so if it does, then I'm sorry about that. And I will always make videos, so it's not like I'm hesitating to do it like with this video. I was so hesitant for a week to make this video because 50% of my channel is full of the most angriest rants in the entire universe. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching my very first positive video, which is a really long review somehow than expected. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on X or Twitter at KadenTheGWR1500. I'm probably gonna change to at KadenGWR Engine, so do that before it's changed. I'll do it next week. Also I'll be posting more on Twitter. I know I've been pretty bad at it but I'll try. Follow me on TikTok, I'm still working on finishing up setting it all up, and then I'll be done. Follow me on Letterboxd all you want, I don't really care. Also I finalized my decision to scrap my Patreon, cause none of you even care about it, neither do you have the money to pay for exclusive perks, cause all of you watching are 18 or under who probably don't have much money to begin with. Anyways, this is Caden the Great Western Engine. Out.